I'm Dr. David Baker Hargrove.
And I'm Robert Baker Hargrove.
And we're at the top of your inbox. This is a place where we come together to bring to you all of our years of lessons learned from owning and operating businesses both individually and together.
And our goal is to provide you with a little bit of a business bite for you to take back to your company to help your business grow and your leaders develop. So, Dr. Dave, what's at the top of your inbox today?
Well, today I thought that we would talk about the life cycle of a business, but focusing specifically on the startup phase.
And I would say in the startup phase, I'm thinking of 3 things that can really help kind of get that business started. Number 1 would be capital, 2 would be resources, and the 3rd would be networking. And so I'll elaborate on those 3. So from a capital standpoint is, what is the initial funding that you need to get your business off of the ground? It might not have to be a whole lot, but the understanding is that you will need an initial investment of capital, so then that way you can begin to move your business forward. 2, resources. When you think about resources, you're eventually maybe adding on staff, so people are your number 1 resource. The other thing is, when you have people, how do you manage those people? How do you provide them with information to help move your business forward? So, you want to think about some sort of an HR standpoint, policies, procedures, those types of things. And then, you're going to need some way to manage that capital that you have, those funds, that investment. So some sort of a fiscal plan or a management tool that really helps you manage the dollars and cents as in different transactions. And lastly, I would say when I would talk about networking is, how do you then begin to let people know about your business? And then how do you get people to come into your business? Whether it's products or services, whatever it is, but you really want to then begin to use your network to really help start the initial phase of getting clients and customers for your organization. So Dr. Dave, I've shared 3 things. So what do you think? Do you have 3 different things that you might want to share as well?
All Fortune 500 companies, all for big corporations that you know of, all started out at one point as a great idea by one or a couple people. And
True.
At some point, they became very big and successful. So your great idea can at one point become a huge corporation in the future. And that should be, inspirational and great news, because really what you're going to need, along with the things that Robert talked about, is a lot of creativity,
yes,
a lot of motivation, and a lot of willingness to not give up when the going gets rough.
Because you will be challenged.
There will be a lot of hard times. Especially in the startup phase, because, you're going to have to learn a lot of things that you didn't know that you were going to have to know about running a business. B, you're going to encounter a lot of issues that you never even guessed that you're going to have to encounter. And C, when you're trying to build your client or customer base, you may be faced with trying to make decisions out of desperation, which is what you don't want to do. And in one of our other videos, we were talking about being ready for opportunities, but you want to be able to learn how to discern between a good opportunity and making a decision for an opportunity out of desperation. And they're not the same thing, even though they may look very similar. So, but also being creative, because you have to be able to operate your startup business in really ingenious ways, because you may not really have a lot of capital, but you really can operate and grow your business without as much money as you think you need. We've done it. We've proven that it's a model that works, and it can be very effective.
You have to stay open to learning, and because you're going to learn so many things. I went to school for business, but I have learned so many different things. And the one thing I will share with you is that technology is ever changing. And so you have to stay close to it. You have to really be open to constantly learning about technology, because that could be one thing that could probably help your business grow in different ways that you may not have thought about, but when it's appropriate.
Yeah, and there are so many things that you will be able to figure out that you can do creatively to help your business function more efficiently. We've been able to run businesses and get businesses started for next to nothing, and be able to piecemeal our expansion as we went along. And we found that to be a very effective method and model to grow businesses in the startup phase. And so it can be done.
Take your creativity and be creative in your operation. Be creative in how you are doing business. And don't be afraid to challenge the status quo. Just because something has been done one way for a long time doesn't mean that it has to continually be done the same way.
Yes, and one of the things that Robert has always said and has kind of imparted to me, and in all the ventures that we have been involved in, is even if you start small, you can still think big, right?
Yes.
And so you think about how people talk about scaling a business up, but you can also scale a business down. So you're thinking about how big corporations run and operate and how that makes them efficient. But you think about, well, how do you scale that down into a 1 or a 2 person operation so that you take some of those ideas and principles that are very efficient and effective and you make them small for that kind of operation that is just in a startup phase. And it works really well.
It absolutely does. And what I find is that when you're talking about that, it's really about looking at other industries and taking some of those innovations and really thinking about how can I apply that to my organization, to my company, because it's really about how you approach things, how you handle things. And, that kind of goes back to always be learning, but also always be observant. Be open to reach out to people and that's going back to that resources and the networking, because you never know what great ideas someone may bring to you. So I would say go ahead and be open to that and challenge yourself, but don't give up. Follow your passion and follow your dreams.
And the last thing I would say is that when you feel like you're at a point in your business that you're feeling stuck, that you're hitting a lot of dead ends, and that you are struggling, feel like that you're spinning all of the wheels and all of the plates in the air, that is a very clear sign that you are at a growth phase and it's time to expand. And you also might be telling yourself a lot of excuses why you shouldn't expand.
And I also say other things that you will probably be telling yourself is, no one can do this like I can do it. I'm the only one who can do this. I really know how it can be done. Or, you know what, I've been doing this for so long, it's just easier for me to do it.
I don't have the cash flow to
Yes.
bring on somebody right now. It's not really a good idea. A litany of excuses that you would be telling yourself to not expand for one reason or another. But your business is telling you that you absolutely need to expand.
And if you need assistance with that, please feel free to reach out to me at robertbakerhargrove.com.
Or me, davidbaker-hargrove.com.
Or both of us at bhcassessment.com.
So until next time, we'll see you at the top of your inbox.